Hi my beautiful and dear friends, and welcome back to my channel. For those who doesn't know me yet, my name is Pia and I'm a holistic coach who empowers people to live healthier and happier. And in today's video I'm going to be showing you an easy way to make meal prep that is going to help you so much in your healthy eating during the week. And why meal prep is so important to eat healthy. I truly believe that healthy eating is something really simple thing to do. Nonetheless, let's get real. We are busy people. Between our career, family, running errands, our hobbies, social events, all life happening, we don't have much time to actually be doing a lot of meal preparations. So I totally get it. It's much easier to just grab something fast that sometimes is not the most healthy thing to do. Things like a cheese grill sandwich, or maybe a cereal bar, or maybe it's gonna be just a smoothie, or even worse, just passing through a fast food restaurant. Does that sound familiar? And this is why dedicating at least a couple of hours just once a week to do all of this meal prep is going to help you so much to be doing much more healthy preparations of food during the week. And this video is going to be pretty different than any other videos of meal prep, and this is because instead of making all of the meals already made for the whole week, we're going to prepare only the ingredients that you're going to need to make this food preparations. This is basically what the chefs call the mise en place. And the reason that I like it to do it this way is because, first of all, I just don't like to be eating exactly the same every single day. Probably I'm gonna be able to do it a couple of days, but by the third day, my body just craves something different. Second of all, I like to practice much more intuitive eating, and that means that not every day I'm gonna be eating exactly the same or the same amount. So by just having the ingredients is gonna help me so much more to be doing the food preparations of every single day in a much more faster way. And I'm dividing the video in 4 parts. One is grill, second is raw, third one is dip and sauces, and 4 is cooked. So if you are ready to take your meal prep to the next level, stick around. So for the grilled vegetables, we're gonna start by heating the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Then we're gonna prepare all of the props that we need. In that case, it's gonna be a cutting table board and all of the baking sheets. Then you're gonna start by cutting the vegetables that you want to bake. In this case, I'm gonna do the butternut squash just because it's so nice and creamy, and we are in winter season, so it's perfect for doing it. Also, I like to do just the traditional squash. And also, I like to add always a green. So in this case, I'm gonna choose the Brussels sprouts. Another thing is that in this case, you can also do potatoes or sweet potatoes. The thing is that I am allergic to them, so I stopped eating them like 1 year ago, and I miss them so much. Now, getting back to the video, what you're gonna need now is just some oil. You can use olive oil, or in this case, I'm using the avocado oil. So what I like to do is just put it in a container, and I can just use a brush to put the oil in the vegetables. This way I know that I'm just not overusing oil. And you just brush the vegetables with the oil in both sides until they are all well covered. And for the spices, what I like to do is just to add sea salt and black pepper, just because these vegetables are just so yummy just by itself. But you can add any condiment that you like. Also, what I like to do is just keep it simple in case I want to do other preparations later with other type of ingredients. Nonetheless, you can choose whatever works for you well. Any spices is great. Then you just put the vegetables in the oven for around 30 minutes. Okay, now we're gonna start with the second part, that is the raw vegetables. So for that, I like to start by cutting in half the onions and then I put them in water. This helps a lot just to seize the effects of the onion when I'm cutting them, just to avoid making them cry and just be horrible in my eyes. So in the meantime, what you're gonna do is just cut the sweet peppers. You can cut them in any shape that you like. What I like to do is just to cut them in slices, what is called julienne. And this is because I love to eat them that way in salads, or if I'm gonna just saute them with oil later. Okay, now we're gonna head up to the garlic, and for that, I know that in the stores you can get like chopped garlic and probably is much more easier. Nonetheless, I just feel that the flavor is not the same, so I love to do it as fresh as possible. My good tip here is that to make it easier to peel them, you just have to smash them with a knife towards the cutting board. And that way you're gonna see that once they're smashed, they're really easy to peel. Then I just chop them and put them in the container so I can use them in any other preparation. You can just keep it done this way, or you can just add some butter or oil, whatever you like. I just keep it natural and it is good for the whole week. Okay, now that some time has passed, you're gonna take all the onions and now they are ready to be peeled and chopped. What I like to do with the onions is to divide it in two types. One half of the container is going to be just chopped onions and the other half is going to be sliced onions. That way I can use them in different ways. And that is pretty much it. Put it in a container and they're ready to use for the whole week. Now we're gonna head up to the ingredients for the salad. In this case, I like to use cucumbers. I just love cucumbers. They're super nice for the digestion and they're full of water. So they're really nice. What I like to do is just to peel them, then chop them into slices. And one really good tip here, guys, is that you can put lemon juice on them. That way they're gonna conserve really well and they're gonna kind of like cooked with the lemon juice and they're gonna be really soft for salads or sandwiches. Then you add a little bit of salt and pepper and they are good to go. Next, what I want to do is some veggies that are gonna work really well as a snack or for my juices. And for that, we're gonna start with the carrots. And you're just gonna peel them and then just cut them in slices. Then you're gonna do exactly the same with the celery. One good tip that probably you have seen it before because it's a really good one to do is just put these slices in a container that it's made of glass and then you just add water. This way is gonna conserve them super well and fresh through the whole week. I like to use them, as I told you, to make some juices in the morning, or I can use them as a snack for any time of the day. This took us around 15 to 20 minutes, so we have still a little bit of time left from the veggies in the oven to make the dressings and spreads. So what I like to do is first to do a dressing for salad or for my Buddha balls during the week, and for that I love just to use tahini. I found that tahini is just the most delicious, creamiest and healthiest way to do dressing. And this is as easy as just put around half a cup of tahini in a bowl, then half a cup of water. Then you have to mix it really well until you get the consistency that you want. And then you can add just 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, and then 1 tablespoon of apple vinegar. And that's it, guys, as easy as that. I just want to tell you that I have other dressings that are really easy to make, and you can totally see them in this video that I made some months ago. I'm gonna leave the link in the description box below. Now the next spread is gonna be the hummus that actually I made another video showing you 3 types of hummus that they are super delicious and really easy to make. So I'm not gonna tell you the recipe in this one, but as usual, I'm gonna leave the link in the description box below too. And these 2 took us around 10 to 12 minutes just to do. So by now, the vegetables probably are ready. To know if they're ready, just stick 1 knife or fork into the vegetables, and if they are soft enough, they are good to go. Okay, now last but not least, we're gonna do the cooking stuff. And for that, I like to have some vegetable sauté that I can use anytime after for sandwiches, wraps, or just eat it as a meal with rice or soup or whatever I want. And what I love to use here is the mushrooms. I'm just a mushroom lover. They're really high in protein and they just taste so good. So after cleaning them, I'm gonna just slide them, and then I'm gonna cook them with some ghee in the cooking pan. Remember the onion, guys, here? Well, just use a little bit of those ones. I like to use the one that is in slices. I just cook them a little bit. Also, I put the chopped garlic that I already did, and I cook them with a little bit of water just to make them shimmer a little bit more. Once they are in a good point, I just add the mushrooms and add all of the spices that I like to use. In this case, I'm using some Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, and a little bit more of garlic. Then I put the lid on and let them cook for around 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna just do a grain. In this case, I'm gonna do the quinoa, but I alternate. 1 week I do quinoa and the other week I do rice. So the quinoa is really easy to make. I just put, in this case, 3 cups of water with 2 cups of quinoa, and then I just put it in high temperature until it starts boiling. Once it boils, I put it in low temperature, put the lid on, and that's it. In the meantime, I'm gonna start just cutting some other green. In this case, I'm gonna do the broccoli, which I love it because I can use it for salads or soups afterwards, and I'm gonna just leave them there. Probably by now the mushrooms are already cooked, so in this case what I like to do is to add more greens, because guys, you can never have enough greens. Green leafy vegetables are really good for your health. So I like to vary. Sometimes I use the kale, other times I use collard greens. In this case, I just add them and let them cook for around 3 to 5 minutes more. Then this sauté of vegetables is completely ready. In the meantime, also I'm gonna start putting some water to heat. This I'm gonna use it later for boiling some eggs and broccoli. Now that I see that the water is boiling, I'm gonna just start putting 1 by 1 the eggs, so I'm gonna make just hard eggs. In this case, I like to cook them with timer around 8 minutes, just because I like them well done. But if you like them a little bit more raw, 6 minutes and a half is a good time. So once this 8 minutes has passed, you're gonna just have 1 pile of water with ice on it. This is really important because this is gonna stop the cooking of the egg and it's gonna make it a perfect hard boiled egg. Now remember the broccoli that you already chopped, so you're gonna add them here just for 3 to 4 minutes. What I like to do is just to not have the broccoli completely raw, so you can make it more digestible, but not completely cooked. So this 3 to 4 minutes is a really good time to do it. Once this time passes, you can also add it to the ice water to stop the cooking process. And basically that is all. Now, as I told you, I also want to show you ways that you can use these ingredients during the week. These are ways that I like to do it. And one of them is by doing in the morning a quinoa cereal. And I just love this because it's so easy and so delicious. You just heat up the milk of choice that you like and you put some cinnamon and vanilla in it. And once it's warm, you put the quinoa, and that's it. It's just a really easy cereal. Then you can add some fruit on top and maybe some almond butter, and this is a really easy breakfast to do. For lunch, for example, I love to make like a wrap or a sandwich using the hummus and all of the vegetables. So in this case, I use hummus and I just slice some tomato. I put this sauteed mushrooms and collard greens on top, and this is just a super easy and delicious way to make a lunch. And another lunch that you can make is just the classic plate, where you use half of the plate as vegetables. In this case, I just add some of the Brussels sprouts and the broccoli that is already cooked, then the quinoa, and then you can add an animal protein or a vegetable protein, whichever you want. In this case, I have some beans that I have leftovers from last weekend, so I'm gonna just use that to make a really easy lunch. Now, as a snack, remember the hummus and the vegetables. This is a really easy snack that you can just munch on anytime that you're hungry, or you can put it also like in some rice crackers with some vegetables or cheese on top. Now for dinner, let's see those grilled vegetables. Now that it's winter, I really like to make soups at night, so I can just use this butternut squash and put some milk of choice or some vegetable broth, a little bit of spices, and I just blended it all and have the creamiest, nicest butternut soup for night. Then another option can be some pasta, where I just have to boil the pasta and then I can use the hummus and the vegetables as a sauce and make a really nice creamy pasta. So guys, these were just some ideas that you can use. If you have any other ingredients that you like to meal prep, just please share them in the comments below, because I'm pretty sure that the whole community will want to know and simplify their lives. Well, my dear friends, this was the video. I really hope that you liked it, and especially that it works for you. Because the thing that I want the most is for you to eat healthy and nourish that beautiful body of yours, but in a simple way. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit it a thumbs up and to spread this message to your friends and family by sharing it. Also, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't so you won't miss any of the upcoming videos. But for now, I just send you lots of love. Till next week.